Greetings and hello. This is video 113. Wow, this here is the ancient spirit Tralaka here, flowing here in spirit, talking through the vocal cords of groovyev. Now, today let's expand farther on these questions and answers for the viewers who are already love the videos, and for the ones who are coming to first time watch the videos. Start with video number 1. However, let's talk about all these people that the videos have been done for, talking about individuals' past lives in the ancient streams. If you remember from the last video, the ancient spirit Tralaka refuses to do videos of the immediate last bunches of lifetimes, next to the one that you're having now, because he said that it's not relevant in the bigger understanding of the equations of your ancient streams, and how the ancient streams understanding can benefit you so much more from a better view of through the scope, so to speak. Now, there's some of these beings that we've done videos for. One that really moved the physical part here, groovyev. It really moved me was this last one, video 111 for Josh Hayward. Now that particular one, the information, let me describe, and when Tralaka is bringing forth other person's ancient past lives, many times, not all the time, but this is how he does it sometimes, is he'll bring that particular life stream and he'll overlay it upon the reality that I'm in right now. So when I have my eyes closed and in meditations, I'm actually looking at things from the viewpoint of actually being there. How the dirt feels, how the wind feels, and the texture of the wind blowing on the hair, and so forth, the density of the waters, and so forth. So I can understand this human aspect of me, will be able to understand the information rather than just whisper it in through my ears. So this particular video 111 with Josh Hayward, this one here brought such an unusual lifeline that was unlike in any of the ones we've done for other people, and some of them are actually somewhat world known that have talked with me on a personal phone lines, and I will not disclose their names. But this particular one, this Josh Hayward here, coming from a different universe, and the different lives he had, and these different challenges, and these different twists and turns. And including, if you watched and listened to that video 111, you'll find that incredibly ancient and so incredibly unique mating ritual. There's huge service in that. I know all the information that came with that, for the making, for doing the writing to make the videos. Also, what came with that when I was seeing it was the entire emotional package. And this here generally doesn't happen as much. It's generally more the data I'm looking at, that I'm seeing. But here, the emotional package came onto the physical form here. And so when I was writing that video 111, it's like, I don't remember any time in any recent aspect of my adult life, and I'm 48, that I ever had reason to have that many tears. But they weren't of sorrow; they were of this just joy and this for this special occasion. That it was like my entire shirt was soaked with the tears from this, and so over and over again, I'm having to watch this stuff from different angles, so I'm not missing anything. But there's just so much there. This 111 would make an incredibly good movie. Not a super long one, because they like to make movies so doggone long nowadays, but it'll keep them to the traditional short ones. To explain, because this will really aid people in understanding that in other lives that they had emotions. No, most of them do. There's still some little questions going back and forth between Tralaka and I about androidic lives of people being androidic humanoid, so to speak. Well, now, how much of a package of emotion can be within that type of a shell versus a humanoid version of shell, which is so interchangeable with so many other different variables of beings. All right, but no, when I'm writing, as the information is coming through, doing individual beings, ancient past lives. Sometimes the emotions comes through. Other time it's just the data of what I'm seeing. Is situations you can say I'm actually witnessing for the first time. And also on that video talked about actually seeing. And this here was the known Prime Minister of Singapore, Lee. I actually being able to get a chance to see the actual video, to watch the actual video showing that particular shell that Lee had in that lifetime, and what exactly was happening at that time. Actually seeing a live video of a hidden cam on a space-going cargo of illegal stuff. Actually be able to watch not just this other stuff around me, but actually be able to then focus within that also, watching the video screen of this hidden camera of what was actually happening during that little struggle on that ship. All right. Now, sometimes in the earlier videos, when Tralaka was more talking about his earlier lifetimes, some of the really great emotions that came through was especially talking about the planet that he has called home for so long, being Tralaka, and his construct and how the beings get along this. All right, but also the incredibly emotions that came through way back in the mid-90s when I started seeing, things being overlaid for me of the ancient Draconian War. Well, an aspect of it, because the ancient renegade Draconian Empire War was in many, many little different areas, some being more major than others, but yet they were part of it, even though they're like isolated. They were still actually part of it. It was a very complicated war that really confused a lot of different battlefields, battle lines on what is happening versus where it's happening and when it's happening. It was a very confusing war. And yes, there are people in this particular lifetime, right now, right here, some will even be watching these videos, that actually were, their inner spirit was that within Draconian warriors from that empire wars of the Draconian renegade empire wars. All right, and there will also be those who served within those Draconian wars for that particular aspect of dragons. All right, now yet there's many of you that were citizens on other planets that were affected by the Draconian wars. Some of you lost your own family members, your own children because of it. This is energies that you still have to breathe through and be able to forgive and release, so you can move forward in your lifetime, so you can express new things within your lifetime. All right, now for Tralaka, being part of the Alliance warriors there, plus being in that location he was with his dad that was a high-ranking leader, things were rather complicated, which really compounded a whole lot of situations. Then we get to the video that Tralaka gave me the information explaining what it is like from a personal aspect of having your spirit, your inner spirit, yanked forcibly through machinery out of the body and then put in stasis inside of multi-dimensional, multi-phasing, multi-variable energy braces, so that spirit being, the actual energy part of it, cannot move from there. Neither can they project themselves to get out of there. They're in that confine, like this little square picture for the video. You're inside this. You can't get out of it. You cannot start another life going someplace else because your spirit is locked into an absolute little point at that location. It was a horrible experience. However, now Tralaka does explain, even in that video, and it could have been a whole lot longer, but he gave what he thought was necessary. He also explains, though, that it gave him the opportunity to be able to look at other worlds. Though he could look out, he just wasn't able to physically go there, with another shell. But he looked at the rise and fall of different worlds, as well as civilizations and different legal representations of worlds, countries, as peoples, populations, and so forth, and what has worked and what hasn't, and why most of the time certain ones will not continue to work, because they're set up to fail from the very beginning. All right. Now, in the videos that Tralaka will continue releasing of beings who write to us that want to know about their ancient past lives, as in the last video, Tralaka will not do explanations of the last bunch of your lives, that's connected to this one here, because of the relevance. He also will not do it for your past, all right, unless in very, very little situations where there is a relevance with the pet in this lifetime and up here where you are right now, and the energy of that pet, the spirit of that pet coming into your experience once again. All right. Now, situations like that, Tralaka will talk about, because it's very relevant in the understanding that is needed to be comprehended. All right. Now, some of these videos, from other people are rather short, while others, like Josh Hayward, was just a smidgen short of being an entire hour. The longest one, that video I've made of people's past lives, of any of them, that one was the longest one, because of I was in a very clear set of mind to be able to receive such an enormous amount of information, including, as I said before, also that emotional block that came in. So I understood that emotions in it. It's very, very moving. All right. Now, some of these other videos that Tralaka has talked about before talks about understanding time travel, understanding 5 things you need to be able to understand to be able to transverse through time. There's someplace around there, out, forward, backwards, up, down, so forth. To understand the hows, the whys, the whens, the wheres. All right? And there's others, all right? But understanding that, the how you're being there. Where? Where are you projecting yourself to? When? Past, present, future, alternative timeline? No. Then there's where you're going. And then, what's the last one? How, when, who, why, how. It'll come to me. All right. Now, it's important to understand, because if you don't transverse through time properly, this here can take and really screw with you. It'll screw with you in a manner which will work against you in your present time you are right now. Very important to understand. Going back to a different timeline and snipping little things around and moving them around, you think, well, I'm not doing nothing, I'm just fixing this one little thing. you have to understand what you're actually doing, because that little thing can grow into being a very big thing by the time it gets into your timeline you are in right now. All right, because of the way as I've described before, the way time flows like a river. It's always moving. However, you don't want to make really, really big waves. You want to keep it as steady as you can. Because if you're going to adjust something, if you actually feel like you actually have the knowledge of knowing the little tidbits of doing this, you have to also understand that the end results of that manipulation cannot be creating waves within time, because they will turn into tsunamis within your life, and then you're really screwed. All right? Now, it's important. I wish I could remember that last word. I just can't seem to remember it at the time. Anyway, but when you're in meditation, it's understanding also going through time, understanding the whys, the wheres, the when, the hows, all right, and so forth, so you don't do damage into yourself or even someone else in your own family, all right? Understanding that this is why when you're meditating, it's important to go to places that are, even Steven, that they're not going to manipulate this, that the beings there aren't going to manipulate this. That is in a place, that where everybody can go, and you can talk with other beings and talk in other situations with beings, spirit beings, without affecting the timelines anywhere around. It's so to speak, sacred crystal castles and huge, immense places, as well as certain worlds, that have been set aside, certain really small, so you can go there to recuperate, you can go there to heal, you can go there to take training and learning from other spirits of a higher vibratory level without having any chances of damaging your particular timelines. All right? Now, this here is the ancient spirit Tralaka, in case you seem to forget this, talking through groovyev. And we're going to be doing a whole lot more of videos of individual ancient lifelines, because this will also help you understand that how many differences there are. If you notice, through all the different ones that Tralaka has given for the videos, that they're all unique upon themselves, and they will be. There isn't just like, well, in the past we just did this, or as you're taught, if you were a kid, you had to go to school, and you're taught, well, if you're not human, then you're just rejoicing and screaming in the air, praise. No. It's not like this. It's not like this at all. For your ancient past and for everybody, well, within 98% of the people on the planet Earth, for the people there, it's understanding that everybody has very unique, very, very little unique. It's like little pieces of sand falling on a hand there, because this is how unique everybody is. Because each crystal, each piece of sand is dropping on a hand there, so to speak, from time. Let's say, each piece of sand that's falling is individual upon itself. This is the same for your ancient timelines. They're each individual unto themselves. And this is so important to understand, that there isn't like, well, everybody was like this, was like this, doing that, and everybody of this color was doing this, and everybody of this variation of relation with this nationality, well, in past lives they only did this. No, that's not true. Each and every individual, well, let's say 98%-ish of the beings on this planet have individual stories of your own, which are unique upon themselves, each and little one of them, every single one of them, no matter each individual unto themselves, because you are just that unique as the individual, your inner spirits as the individuals. Now, for some of you ask, why do these people come and look at some of these mass murderers killing like 30 people and so forth? Very hidden in that. They got stuff to work through to be, is that particular lifeline, was it conductive to push more bad ideas, or was it going through a phase of understanding more about themselves than they didn't understand, and they went back doing what used to be what they did? All right, now these things vary back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The different combinations of these things is incredible. But everybody, those in the prisons, those that go to church, those who go to the bars, those who go to the strip clubs, they still have those. But they're all of them. Everybody, has individual timelines unique upon themselves. So important to understand. Now, a lot of things. I used to get on a lot of airplanes. I used to vacation a lot. Because I could. And I had the right to. But what I found at 30,000 feet when I'm sitting in the cab, with everybody else, is going into a meditation, as long as above 20,000 feet. There's a little number to remember there. Be in a plane that's above 20,000 feet, because you're getting outside of the denser gravity well of the planet Earth, which upon the time is within that equation. All right, you can meditate. You can meditate so much better and clearer and cleaner, actually, at 30,000 feet. Because there's other variables aren't figuring in there, and you can learn so much. So you don't have to sit there reading that. What magazine was that? Skyview magazines. That wants you to buy stuff. No, you can actually do something productive during your time travel when you got to fly from that way to 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 that way. So that you can aid yourself to improve yourself, to allow for things within your life to come forth, because you're not blocking anymore, because you're understanding in your life how you are rigging your own game, so to speak, to fail. When you're meditating at that 30,000 feet there, you'll start to understand more clarity, so you can understand, I didn't know I had another piece of on the board to move. Okay, let's move this place. Funny, I never seen that piece on the board before. All right, we're going to move this in my lifetime. It feels very strong. All right, we're not going to move these regular ones because they're almost worn out and they're almost broken. I moved them so many times. But you'll start understanding more about the board of life and how things flow, how things work, how things can work for you, how they can work against you. Once again, if you start monkeying with the time equations, each planetary system has their own time equations, including the planetary surface of different within the planetary systems, the actual individual planets. They have their own time wells, so to speak. And the ones that don't, that can change. All right, that can change if other things would change. It's rather interesting sometimes where a situation won't be in a time well and then it becomes in a time well. Now, is this something that of the living multi-dimensional, multi-universe, this aspect, this female aspect, toying with you, just kind of like prodding you a little bit? Good question. No, it's a matter of where you are, when you are, how you are, why you are at that location. That's going to decide on a lot of things and how they unfold before you and around you and so forth. All right. This here is the ancient spirit Tralaka. As always, take care and understand that you are so much more and the lower energies who are controlling the New World Order and all their lap dancing puppet cults, it is they that need to understand they've been served the pink slip and it's time for them to leave, because we're awakening and we're not going nowhere that they want us to go. Good night.